What up, guys? David out here again with P&D Outdoors. So I saw a video on fishing and stuff. Been following this guy on YouTube for a long time. Y'all know I'm getting into big catfishing, alligator gar, carp. You know, just another part of life, trying to catch some different fish. So as you can see right here, I got 4 boards, 10 inches by 2 inches by 1 inch thick, cut at 45s and sealed with clear coat. Make my own planer boards. So can't take no credit for this. This is all off of fishing and stuff. He is the one that has the plans online to make 2 boards. I went to Lowe's today and got everything. To see the 5-minute epoxy. Now I had the aluminum plates and the everything else here. All I do is buy the wood. Everything else I have. Like I found a scrap piece of aluminum that I'm going to cut out. You can see I'm going to cut it out right there. I'm going to sand that stuff off and polish it up. Sorry about the mist, guys. You know, there's stuff everywhere. You know how I roll. And then I got a stop sign. I mean not a stop sign, a octagon aluminum thing that I found at Grandpa's because he collected everything. So I'm about to cut out another piece off of this. I can get both out of this one, but I'm gonna do one out of this one and one out of that one because this one's so flat and it's about the right thickness. So, and it's already rounded over, so that's dope. But yeah, just thought I'd bring this to you. I'll bring it as it goes. So I'm about to cut this out here. So here we go. All right, guys, next step, I'm going to round off one corner so it cuts to the water better, and then grind these all up and polish them down. I'm not going to polish them to a mirror fence like he did. I might actually put some paint on them so I can really see them during the day. Definitely going to paint those. Might still is colored though. I do like that green, but we'll see. All right, to the next step. All right, got them ground down and the corners cut. Now time to clean up, polish, and drill holes. All right, well, finally, I should have brought y'all along for that. That was 6 sanding disc, or 1 sanding disc, and then 6 mouse 80 grit sandpaper to get those even down. The one that with the gold on it, it sanded pretty quick. I don't know what that gold oxidized. Maybe they did it with like electrolysis. That wasn't bad, but the one with the stop sign, that took me 45 minutes. So they are now polished. And that's as polished as I'm going to do, guys. I ain't lying. I ain't trying to outshine nobody. That'll work. I'm going to wipe them down with denatured alcohol and get them. I got to drill the 5 holes up top, the hole for the thing, and then the hole in the corner for that thing, for the clip, and then for the other little clip. So we'll do that next. All right, so I got the clips. Well, that's a clip for the slide for the bottom, and the clip for the actual post, and the clip that holds it to the line that makes it pull. Those are next. 3 inches over, 2.5 inches down. All right, here we go. All right, so got the holes punched for the rods that hold the clips. About to punch the 5 holes across the top to help adhere the 2 pieces of wood each side. And I was thinking in his plan, he just drilled those holes and put epoxy, glued one side, then glued the other, and the epoxy just kind of helped hold them holes. I'm going to cut this old toothbrush, bamboo toothbrush, into 2 dowel rods, and I'm going to put one on each end and glue them on. So not only will that help the 2 pieces of board to be one, that'll help with some durability and stuff too. So I think that'll help them from falling out. I'm not going to do each one, just one on each end. So 4 dowel rods, 2 on each planer board out of bamboo, and bamboo floats. I mean, it's super light, it floats, so that'll help with buoyancy. So yeah, all right, till the next step. Nothing if I didn't have you. All right, we got the holes done. Got the 5 holes across the top so the glue up's better, and then I'm going to put this dowel rod through here out of that bamboo toothbrush. I'm going to put one in each corner to go between the 2 boards to kind of have it bond them together with the epoxy. So not only will they be bonded to the metal, they'll be bonded through and through with this. I think that's going to really make them, the durability is going to make them 10 times better. All right, here we go, clean them up, and it's actually almost time for glue up. I just gotta get my holes right on my board so my dowel rods line up. This because I know I'm rough with stuff and it just popped in my head. So I'll be gluing those dowel rods on with the other side, and then when that's done, this is gonna fill right in the top like this. I doubt I'm gonna get it to slide in with one hand. But you get the idea. It's going to be glued in together and smashed tight and held, and then that'll be together. All right, here we go. All right, guys. Oh, don't mind the loofah. My wife grows homemade loofahs, and they dry out, and we use them for wash rags all year. Pretty dope. She's gonna have about 20 this year, and you cut them up into 6 inches, so it's a lot. So yeah, I got them both glued up, guys. Worked out great. I did the dowel rod thing. Well, 5-minute working time, but yeah, I'm not gonna do just 5 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and just let these chill for probably 2 or 3 hours, which unfortunately it's 5:24, so that means it'll be almost 7, 8 o'clock. So this DIY is probably over for today. But I'll bring the next step when I get there. Turn the fan down. All right, guys, I'm getting ready to do the next step. I'm putting the first nut on, and then it will be put through there and then tightened up with the second nut. Guys, do yourself a favor. Put a little grease on there, because those Teflon nuts, usually they only gall up on stainless, but this has got coating on it. This is galvanized, so it won't rust. I'm gonna paint it and shrink wrap it like the other guy did, but just put a little grease on there. That'll help from that galling up, and it will save your time and patience. If you get that up there about 8 threads and it galls up and you can't get it off, you got to cut it off. So just put a little grease on there. Some people say it's not worth it, but I've done it my whole life and it's worth it. So you know, that's just the way I do it. But yeah, I'm gonna put the studs on, guys. All right, guys, so I just screwed that nut on until I had enough coming out where I had just one thread sticking out the end of that that nut. So that's how I adjusted it, like that. And I'll do both the same, so they have the same length sticking out the front. Still got to heat that up and hammer it flat to receive the clip, spring clip thing, whatever it is. All right, just wanted to show you that part. That's how I figured out how to get the right adjustment length on it. Cool. All right, so I got them painted. I know my workstation is terrible, guys, but when I do stuff, I got shit everywhere, but it works. So I got one painted. I got my split rings. I'm gonna put on it, paint it with some green paint, hit it with the heat gun, dried it up real quick, and then I put the heat shrink on. Haven't heat shrink it yet because I'm gonna get the nuts on the exact same spot, so they're exact same length on both boards. And then I'll heat shrink them up tight, bust a hole through where the hole is, and then put the clips on. And these are off of 6 cent swim baits, so they should be the heavy ones. There should be plenty for a planer board. Unless a gator comes up and takes the board away or something, but we'll see. All right, till the next step. All right, guys, so I got them painted, got the bars on. I don't have the bigger clips of these I'd like. I mean, those are fine. Those are rated at 200 pounds, but I'd rather have the little bit bigger ones. They'll go there. And then the clips off of there I have to order from Amazon. And you can only order 7 at a time for $10 or 6 at a time. I just want 2. But I don't know, guys. The only thing I didn't do is I didn't want to wait for the balsa wood to get here, because even though I live in like the 3rd largest county in the United States, Montgomery County, Texas, no one sells balsa wood. Like arts and craft stores do it. It's super small. They didn't have the 1-inch pieces. So I asked Google and I researched it. The next most dense, or the next most buoyant wood to balsa is poplar, and then cedar, and then pine. So I know Rapala uses cedar for all their lures still. And of course I didn't go with that. I said, nah, let's go popular, because they said poplar word's better. But let me tell you guys, I don't think these are gonna float. They're heavy. I mean, they are heavy. I don't know if it's possible to come back and maybe take some 1-inch holes out of here, but I think that'll mess up that would mess up the actual blade, so the planing part would be done. Yeah, I don't know. I'll check them tomorrow when I get off work. I'll take them to the pond and we'll try them, but I have a feeling they're going, because you still have to hang the clip on here and the plastic clip on here, which I know is not too much more weight, but I'll weigh them tomorrow on the small scale. I can't get it out right now because it's locked in the boat, but I'll weigh them tomorrow. But these feel, I'm gonna say 2 to 3 pounds, maybe. I say 2 pounds. But all right, well, thanks for coming along with me on this next build. You know, I wanted some planer boards to get out from behind the boat, because my rod holder I built works amazing. but when you're dragging, it drags the lines right next to each other. So I always go one out about 100 yards, not 100 yards. I go about 50 yards out with one, and then I go about 35 yards to 20 yards on the other one, so they don't get caught up. But by the end of the night, or let's say 15 minutes into the drag, the lines are side by side. No matter how far apart I spread those rod holders, they're in a side by side. So this will get them out away from the board, away from the boat, so I can actually drag 2 lines. So, and then I have my rod holders that go on both sides right here that I do. So I do 2 rods off the back dragging, 2 rods off the side, suspended bait. So yeah, all right. Well, they'll be dry tomorrow. Hopefully epoxy will be cured up by then. They've already been set in about 3 hours. So hopefully by tomorrow they'll be waterproof, and watch them sink to the bottom. Hopefully not. If not, it's a redo, start over. All right, guys, till tomorrow. Okay, making sure it was gonna come on. All right, guys, next day, like I promised you, you're seeing it live. Did I mess up by going with Popular and not waiting for the balsa wood to get here? Or are they gonna float or sink? Here goes nothing. I'll have to get them out with a freaking net if it don't. Look at all y'all. Watch out, I'm about to drop these. Okay, so they float barely. Yeah. Okay, so I mean, they will float. That means they will work. I just don't know how good they'll work once you have the line attached to them. So y'all get to see it firsthand. Should I have waited for balsa wood? Yes. That Popular wood is only floating about 1/4 inch off the water. You can see how it's tilted to one side due to the pin or the 1/4 inch all thread that holds the clip. But truthfully, they will work. It doesn't matter. You don't have to see them. I mean, you want to see them if you lose them, but I'm gonna spray paint them bright orange to match the rod. So, is what it is. But there we go. I'll get them painted up now, and we'll have to try. Next time we go out to the lake, we'll try them, and then I'll probably make another pair with balsa wood to see if they float better. All right, guys. So I made the final colors. I picked. Unfortunately, the cap from Lowe's lied. That was supposed to be fluorescent green. That's forest green. And then Nancy said, "Hey, you got some bright orange in there," so that'll kind of match the top of the rods. So yeah, final colors: red, white, and orange. Basic. I might go back and take this off and paint this yellow. But the more paint I add, the heavier they're gonna get. And y'all saw they only held their weight about 1/4 inch above water. So I think also I'm gonna come back and right under here, I'm gonna cut a thin piece of foam at a 45 on both sides so it sticks in there neatly, and I'm gonna glue it in. That'll triple the buoyancy with foam. So all right, guys, well, that's the build. That's everything other than the clips, but they're at Amazon cart. I'll have them in a few days. And then next time you see them, hopefully we're back at the lake trying them out. Thanks for joining me.